In 2024, Clark bought a brand new EcoQuar Plus notebook from a stationery shop. In the back was a list of names including Ludwig van Beethoven, Francis Bacon, and Michelangelo. Why? I'll give you that one more time. In 2024, Clark bought a new EcoQuar Plus notebook from a stationery shop. In the back was a list of names including Ludwig van Beethoven, Francis Bacon, and Michelangelo. Why?
So these are all people with B as their last names.
Ooh.
Michelangelo Buonarroti.
Excellent fact knowledge.
Beethoven and Francis Bacon. Did you say the second
Francis
one was?
Bacon was the other one, yes.
But since you didn't know, I'm guessing that's not actually important.
It is unfortunately not actually important. Beethoven, obviously the composer, Michelangelo, the sculptor and painter. Francis Bacon?
Scientist. It depends on which Francis Bacon it is. There's an artist from the 20th century and there's a scientist from the 16th.
I was thinking like bacon numbers. Like, is he trying to reduce the bacon number from him to all of the others? But I don't think it's that.
That's Kevin Bacon, not Francis Bacon.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it was Kevin Bacon. Okay, so what year is... Okay, Beethoven I don't think is quite 16th century.
Beethoven is...
Beethoven.
18th, no, early 19th, I think.
Early 19th.
I feel like I don't know any of these right now. I know the names of 2 out of the 3, and that's about it.
What kind of notebook is this? Is it trying to imply that this is the kind of notebook that you could write music like Beethoven, that you could write scientific notes like the scientist?
I think they're certainly trying to imply that, yes.
EcoQuar. Is that like eco-friendly qua? Or is that EcoQuar a single word brand name type thing?
Yeah, is it a brand name or does it stand for something?
I wouldn't worry too much about that right now.
Okay.
My morbid mind thinks of Death Note and like none of these people are alive. Just trying to imply it's also effective in that way. Don't quote me on that though. I never said that.
Buy this normal product from W.H. Smith and kill your enemies. I actually don't know what happens in Death Note.
I think that is basically how it works, yes. I just don't think you buy it in W.H. Smith.
That is the version if Death Note were British.
Oh, yeah. If Death Note were British, it just arrives on a grubby Weatherspoons carpet.
There's like a Greg's sausage roll there.
Oh, yeah, the death roll. That's the...
The death roll.
So these 3 people listed in this notebook, are they, what are their nationalities? Michelangelo's probably Italian, right? Or am I wrong on that?
He's Italian, yeah.
Beethoven is German, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And Francis Bacon is English.
Okay. So
depending on the Francis Bacon, you did name 2 of them.
Depending on which one it is.
And you didn't clarify which is which.
And you didn't clarify which you were going to, weren't you? And then you stopped yourself.
There are some other names printed there as well. I wouldn't try and draw a link specifically between those 3. Those are some of the names that are included.
So is it just famous people? Is this like 9 out of 10 famous people would use this notebook to write their notes in? And those are the names that they chose to include.
You're along the right lines with that, Inés, but oddly, not confident enough there for the advertising.
Is this to do with, like, what kind of print does this notebook have? Because you mentioned lines. And, like, is it the lines where they put the things on? Is it a blank notebook? What kind of patterning?
This is actually a little leaflet tucked in the back. You're nearly there, Inés.
They've not, like, got Michelangelo plugging their notebook, have they? Like... Michelangelo says, buy this notebook. That wouldn't make sense.
Why wouldn't that make sense?
Because he's dead and didn't buy notebooks.
Didn't he?
Leonardo da Vinci did. He's famous for his notebooks. Is that what we're talking about?
How do you know he didn't buy notebooks?
I guess he did, right? Like, or made them.
He acquired paper somehow at some point.
He did, yes.
Ha, got you.
Well, no, Wren, keep thinking about that.
Okay.
Where did he get the paper from?
EcoQuar.
Is this ecologically sourced paper that is recycled and may have somehow been recycled from sources or cities where they were from? We use the notes of Da Vinci and Michelangelo. No. We trash their art.
We popped them up real good.
EcoQuar is just the name of the notebook. The actual company behind it is called Fabriano.
Fabriano.
Okay, that's Italian.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Italian.
Is this all Italian paper and all of them used paper from those sources in the past? So they're like, we're the modern version of the business and they would use our notebooks because they use the paper from the same spot.
You can have even more confident marketing than that.
It's the same company. It's the same company.
Yes. Oh. It is the same company.
These guys used our notebooks.
Exactly right. Yes. Fabriano has been making paper since 1264. So their website and their products include a list of, they call them testimonials, but it is just, here is a list of famous people through history who at some point bought paper from Fabriano.
See, I'm in America now and nothing's old here.
So do you know which bacon it was?
It was, and well done on getting this one, Jenny. It was the 20th century Irish-British painter. It was not the English philosopher. And
also not Kevin Bacon. But one sec, I'm going to place an order for one of these notebooks, and if I ever become of enough renown...
That's how they get you. You buy a notebook from them, and they proudly claim that they are the people who sold paper to Beethoven and Michelangelo, to Georgia O'Keeffe, to Federico Fellini, to Giuseppe Garibaldi.
To Tom Scott.
Not yet, but in a few centuries, perhaps our names will be on there too.
Once they've heard this plug from Lateral with Tom Scott.
The Lateral book is out now. Just click on the link to get your copy.